going to run through a demonstration of how to use golfscorestudio and all of the things that it can do for you. Let's start off with how you can find us. So you just type in golfscorestudio.com, or you can Google us and we should show up. We got a beta launch special. We'll cover that in a little bit. So first thing, you're brought to the home page. You can sign in or sign up, or just go and explore what we've got going on. Well, let's start from the top. Step 1, select your scoring method. So if you're playing stroke play, then select this, or match play where you're versing someone, or maybe teams are versing each other. Just select this. It doesn't do anything until later on, but it's good to get this out of the way so that you have the mindset of what you want your scoring to look like. Then step 2, choose your overlay categories. You get the stroke cards that are like in the top right corner when you're about to swing and hit the ball, and then you have like the scorecards that show up after you've sunk the putt after your hole. So we can select just one if we know that all we want is scorecards, or we can select both. Let's have both. All right, let's navigate over to this first one in both of these templates. So you can see they've got some designs, but we are in a guest profile right now, so we don't have access to these nicer designs. We've got this one right here. Same thing for the scorecard. We've got the standard scorecard. All right, so now that we've got those selected, the green border around, we can go down to step 4, where we can customize and preview. So what I like to do is I like to scroll, get these colors at the top, and then get the preview down here at the bottom. So we can switch back and forth to see what we're working with, but let's give these some colors. Maybe you've got some channel colors already set up. Your channel has like a theme, and you want to make some colors that match your theme. I'm just kind of picking red, white, and blue for right now. I know it's not the best looking, but right here is the opacity slider. So if you want to overlay this on your video, how much of the background, like the trees or the sky, is coming through. And then we can go to the scorecard, and let's say we want the same colors as we used in the stroke card. We can just click this little color picker. Didn't change the text. Let's look over here. All right, that looks pretty good. Okay, the logo, can't change that in the guest version. So we've got the stroke card right here. I like those colors. I like the way that bubble looks, and then that's looking good. Now let's fill out the information. So let's say you're playing with Joe, and you're making the video with Joe, and he is, let's say he's 3 under, and he's on the 5th hole, wherever you are in your video editing. Okay, the distance, you could leave that blank. That's fine. It'll go away when we download it, or we can write in that distance. So let's say it's just 444 yard par 4. So that gives us 4 bubbles right there. But let's say it was a par 5. Now we got 5, or let's say it's a par 3. The bubbles will adjust. Okay, and then the current shot, let's change this back to 4. Let's say, okay, we got to download this one, right? Because this is the first stroke off the tee of hole 5. Okay, download, then boom, current shot's 2. Download that one for his second stroke. 3rd, 4th, now watch this. 5th, adds that extra bubble. 6, adds that extra row because, blocks of 5 look good. So let's say on this par 4, Joe is on his 5th stroke. We can add this for bogey. All right, Joe. And then you can just click download, name it whatever you want, and then save. Now let's go look at it. And this is what we got. It's pretty big, but that's so that we can preserve the quality of your logo and everything. We can that's an example behind, you can shrink that down and that looks really good, and it'll fit right into your timeline of your video editing, and that should look really good. So that's the stroke card. Now let's go to the scorecard. This one's fun. All right, so you've got like a little scorecard down here at the bottom, kind of matches what we've got up top. So let's say, 4, 4, 5, 3. Let's say just these 4 holes as an example. All right, so hole 1, you get a bogey. It goes ahead and puts that bogey square around. Now let's say hole 2, you get a birdie. Puts the birdie circle around. Now let's say hole 3, you get an eagle. Or no, that would be an albatross. We got the filled in circle with a ring, okay? And then let's say on this hole 4, we get a double bogey. So the double bogey and the eagle are actually just filled in squares, and then albatross and triple bogey adds a ring around that. Let's just do another example like that. So, and then you can see that it updates the score right here, all the way in the right. And then we can download this one too. Give it whatever name you want. And there we go. We got this. It looks great. Looks extra sharp. We can just stick that in our preview of our video editing, and then we can just drag and drop. Makes it super easy. All right, let's look at signing in or signing up. So if you've already got an account, you can just hit sign in, or if you don't have an account, you can sign up. So if you click the wrong one, sign up here. Oop. All right, so enter your email and your password, full name, whatever you want. Create your account. All right, and then it should show that you're signed in right here, and then what plan you're on. Okay, and you can sign out with that button right there. If you want to upgrade, you should take advantage of our beta special. It is 50% off and $4.99 a month. About to show you all the reasons why you would want to upgrade. So let's go ahead and get this account upgraded, and then I'll come back to you. All right, now you can see we are in the pro plan. So let's see what that gets us. We've still got stroke play, match play. We've just got these stroke cards and scorecards. Let's select both, but now we've got access to all of these designs. We've got the boxes, the blocks, this one that I've called Radiant. Let's see what we got down here. We've got the classic scorecard with the par also there. Okay, and then I want y'all to know that there are more designs coming soon. This is just a beta launch, so I'm looking forward to adding more designs. That's like my favorite part of the whole thing, is making more designs. So look forward to doing that for you. Let's do this one because this one's cool. And then let's show you this one. So same deal as before. Got it in the preview. Let's get these colors toward the top so we can see everything. All right, that's fine. Okay. Scorecard. Ooh, I found one that looks good when I do it like this. It's like a red, and then a yellow. It makes like that fiery gradient. I think that looks sick. And then like a blue text on a okay, I don't know. I think that looks like sick. You can put your logo in here now. So clear logo, it'll get rid of that. And then, choose your file to upload your logo. Obviously, I am going to use my logo, so feel free to put whatever logo you like in there. Let's also do this. Actually, here's a functionality. If you switch, it'll take all of that stuff, and then you can see what your logo looks like over here. There's a boxes one. Some color schemes work a little bit better for certain designs than others. So let's go back to this one. All right, now we don't need to mess around with this one in the pro plan. This is more for like, your single overlay edge cases, like if you get a condor where like a hole in one on a 5, or just any one that you want to make unique, because as a pro user, you can actually access the thing that generates all of them for you. So, let's say you and your buddies go out and you play 18 holes and you want graphic overlays on all of their strokes, make that video looking really nice. You can do it one at a time, but if you got two guys and they break 80, they got 80, that's still 160 individual templates that you need to make. So what you can do instead is just fill in all of the data from your round. Distance, I'm gonna do this. But you would insert your actual distances, and I'll just do that for the first ones. All right, then let's say we got player 1, John, and you want to add another player. This is Jane. You got a girl to come play with you. Congrats. All right, so John would just input his numbers, or you would input the numbers for John, all of his scores. An amazing 18th hole to tie it all up. Actually, no, we can't have them tie. She loses. Sorry, Jane. Okay, so now you've got all of this, okay? Then you just got to click generate, okay? Give your project a name. Maybe you're working on multiple projects. It's just so that they don't override each other. So, test. Or maybe if you played at Pebble Beach, that would be awesome. All right, there's 152 overlays to generate, and see it's generating John for hole 7, stroke, 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 8. It's cooking. Now we go to Jane. She's going through all of her strokes, and then once we get to all the stroke cards being done, then it's going to run through all the scorecards because we had those selected, remember? Scorecard, scorecard. Ooh, ooh. Yeah, let's go through these really quick because there's only one per hole. Okay, save it as that, wherever you want. Oop. We can open that. So here we are in the file. It'll create a zip file. You just open it, and then got that. You've got your folders in the different kind of styles, the stroke cards and the scorecards. And then we've got to organize like this because when you're editing your videos, you go chronological, like hole by hole by hole. It's just a little bit easier to do that. And then starting with hole 1, you got your players organized. Okay, let's say, boom, here it is. Here is John on the first hole. It's 444 yards. Here's the logo that you put. Here's his score. He's starting even, and this is his first stroke. Let's go to his second stroke. There it is. Still hole 1. All right. Now let's go here. Oh, for par. Yep, because it is his 4th stroke on a par 4. Okay, let's see what Jane did. There's her off the first tee, and then she goes all the way for bogey. All right. So it's all there. Every single one of them. Let's go pick this random one here and see what Jane has. All right, Jane is down 3 on the start of hole 16. It's a par 5. No distance put in, so no distance is showing. Oops. Now let's just see what Jane gets. That'd be a birdie, so here's her birdie. Okay, and John on hole 16 is 4 down, and he also gets a birdie. So they are all there. You can just have this folder, and then you can just slide them over into your video editor super easy. Okay, now let's check hole 1. Let's see what the score is. Oh yeah, we got some different colors. So these actually look a little bit darker just because it's on the dark background, but remember it's a little bit transparent. So this blue will pop a little bit better on like the background of a green or the sky, you know. So here is the score. I can't remember who this is for, but on hole 1, par 72, they are up 1 on hole 1. Okay, that was Jane. So let's just go all the way. Just find a random one again. All right, see, it's putting them all in there for you, and here we got eagle. Okay, and that'll put us down 2. So, you know, all of the data you entered in is going to be reflected in these scorecards, and you know, you saw how little time that took. You know, that took less than maybe 5 minutes if you were, you know, filling it out and weren't talking like I was. Quick, let's go over match play. So we were just in stroke play, but let's switch it over to match play, and that's going to affect the way that the scores are calculated and shown, like I said earlier. So I've already got these selected and nice warm colors. Basically, all it does is it lets you, you know, type in, oops, letters like that, and then scorecards, same deal. It just takes the most recent score and puts it in the score box over here. So it is important to make sure that you have it in the right scoring style, just because it does affect the way the scores are shown. Now, for the sake of time, let's just do the scorecards, and I've set this in. We got John, super consistent, Jane, kind of all over the place. Let's test this right here. Okay, and here we are. So we can look at the first hole, and with the scores, they were all square. All right. Now let's just go all the way to some hole near the end. All right, and we can see that, oh, they're all square again. Let's do one where they're not square. I'm pretty sure they don't finish square, so let's look. Oh, Jane ends. She is 1 up, so that means that John, his would just be a direct mirror, and he is 1 down. So that's how match play will affect the way that the scorecards come out, and that is super useful, I think, for the different types of content that you'll be creating. You know, sometimes you'll have teams going up against teams, or sometimes you'll just be trying to break a number or whatever. It's whatever kind of content you want to create, and match play is intended to give you some options. So take advantage of it. It's a cool feature, and yeah. So go to Golf Score Studio and check us out. Be sure to take advantage of this beta special that we got. We got half off for early customers because we're just launching. And yeah, I think this tool is great for, you know, giving your videos that edge. It saves you tons of time, and there's going to be some more designs coming soon. So we're looking forward to the future of Golf Score Studio and hoping that you can check us out. We'd greatly appreciate using our tool for your videos.